Hello, students in Mr. Cooper's class, and hello, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Abbott here, and I'm going to take a few minutes, maybe a little bit more than a few minutes, to talk to you about a couple of different topics. The first of which is to talk about where to find credible, reliable, accurate information for your PBL research. We're also going to set up your EasyBib accounts. I'm going to introduce you to the database that we have this year at Hadley. And probably most exciting, I know that you'll be thrilled about this, we're going to talk about Boolean operators. That's right, kids. But the first place we're going to start right now is on the Hadley LMC homepage. And on this homepage, and Mr. Cooper, feel free to pause this recording at any point in time. On the homepage, you will see a link down here, Surveys, Search Terms. Go ahead and click that link. And what you will see is a form, a one-question survey, not really a survey. And in the middle, you'll see a box. In that box, I would like you to write down one search term that you have used so far in this research project. So in that box, pretend it's a Google search box and you're looking for information. Think of one that you have used, typed it in, and hit submit. And Mr. Cooper, I will share with you the spreadsheet that has all of the responses, so you can look at those with your students and maybe talk about ones that are strong and maybe ones that need a little work. After you have looked at those responses, then the question is, well, maybe Google searching stuff is sort of messy. So if I just, I don't know, in a lot of the other classes, people were searching internet service. So if I just Google that, and I'm not sure how related that is exactly to your to the question you're trying to figure out, your project, you can almost guess as to what's going to come up. Advertising for internet service providers, locations, stores. This is not helpful to you at all. And in fact, I would argue that a lot of your Google searching that you do is not, the search terms that you're using are not narrow enough. So the question is, how are they best used? How are you able to use some limiters in your searching? For that, I'm going to ask Mr. Cooper to direct all of you to your assignment notebooks. And in the back, you'll see a section called Information Literacy. And on page 7, you'll see a page that says Boolean operators. I would like you to take a few minutes to look that over, and maybe Mr. Cooper can ask somebody to, in their own words, explain exactly what that is. So, continuing on. Now that you have an understanding of Boolean operators, it might be a good idea to watch this short video about pirates, ninjas, and ninja pirates. Enjoy!
Hello everyone, this is LMU Health Sciences librarian Zach Sharrow, here to tell you about Boolean operators. So, let's say I'm working on some research for a paper. I'm at the database search screen and I see a little menu drop down that looks like this. What are those things? Those are Boolean operators. They can help you get better search results. They're named for George Boole, a 19th century English mathematician who, it turns out, had a lot of great ideas about computers before we even had computers. So what do? Boolean operators help you define the set of results that you want the database to show you. Let's look at them one at a time. Start with a bunch of things that have characteristics. They don't all have exactly the same set of characteristics, but there's some overlap. Let's say you have some pirates, some ninjas, and some pirate ninjas, and I guess they live inside a computer. I can ask the computer to show me everything that's a pirate, or everything that's a ninja. Connecting those two terms with the AND operator narrows my results to only those things that are both pirates and ninjas. This also works with more than two terms. Maybe I'm looking for pirate and ninja and cephalopod. On the other hand, if I connected those two terms with the OR operator, I'd get everything that has at least one of those characteristics. In this case, that's everybody. That's going to make my results broader than if I just search for one or the other. Again, this works with more than two terms. Not is a way of excluding something. This is the only one where order matters. Whatever comes after the not gets excluded. So if I search for pirate not ninja, anything that's a ninja gets left out. Notice that this isn't the same thing as just searching pirate. If I reverse the order, it's the pirates that walk the plank, bucko. You can combine operators in basically any combination you want, setting off groups of things with parentheses like algebra. This can be very effective if you know what you're looking for, but it can get complicated pretty quickly. That brings us to the end of the introduction to Boolean operators, powerful tools that help you build better searches. And always remember, the library is here to help.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did. It's a good one. So let's do some searching now with what you have learned in terms of Boolean operators. Actually, before we get to that, I'll direct you through a little exercise that I've done with the other classes. And Mr. Cooper, you can change this in any way that you like. So at this point, if you pause it and do your own thing, that's fine. So we're going to pretend that the classroom is a computer. And the students are the search results, and me, or in this case Mr. Cooper, is going to be the inputter of the search term. And you guys are going to show the results by either standing or sitting. Okay, are we ready? So my search term is Hadley students. Now, everyone should be standing, right? Because everyone is Hadley students. Now, imagine this is a Google search term and you are needing to limit those searches. How could you do that using the words not and or? For example, I could say Hadley students, not boys. And who would be left standing? And there's all sorts of combinations that you can do, and I'll let Mr. Cooper play around with that if he so chooses. If not, we can move on. One thing we did do in the other classes is that we eventually had a search term that got it down to one or maybe two people. So that's your challenge if you choose to do so, to come up with a search term that limits it down to one or two people. Okay, so now you know a little bit more about searching strategically. Now let's talk about where that's going to happen. Here we are in our trusted one-stop shopping for all of your research needs, the Hadley LMC homepage. And if I look over here under research databases, I'll find the one that we're using this year called EBSCO. And the login is WM Hadley and the password is Wildcats. And so I log in. And we go to EBSCO Research Databases. Now, I do like this database. It's good, but I'll tell you that there are 6 of them here, and 3 of them have no application to you guys at all. This first one you'll never use. It's for teachers. Encyclopedia, yes, has some good information, but not really for PBLs, and specifically this PBL. So I wouldn't select that one. Middle Search Plus, that uses middle school magazines, things like Scholastic Upfront, Time for Kids, and even adult news magazines as well. So we're going to select that. We will select Topic Search, and we will select not professional development, that's for teachers, but newspaper source. Now remember guys, this is a database. This is not going out on Google and searching everything under the sun. This is a controlled environment where all of the resources have been evaluated. We know that they're credible. We know that they're trustworthy. So that whole question is one that you don't have to deal with when you're using a database. So now that we have those three selected, let's continue on. And in this box, now we have our search box, but now that you guys are advanced and you have learned about Boolean operators, we can go to the advanced search option. And here we can put in our search terms. Now, probably in an ideal situation, we would work together to come up with some search terms. But for the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to input one that I think speaks to a lot of the lenses that you're looking at for your PBL. So we are looking at internet access. That's one part of it. Now over here we have our Boolean operators. For this one I'm going to choose AND. And since the problem is, or one of the problems is, people who are coming from low-income households who can't afford internet access in their home, that is something that is being examined and identified as potentially a problem. So a way to word that is to use the phrase low income. So now I am searching two sort of different ideas, but I'm connecting them with the word AND, which should help in my search. So now when I click search, now let's go back here for a second, 277 million results. Here, 328 of sources that we know that are credible. I mean, this first one is from Time magazine. Okay, 328, not bad. There is a way to limit those as well. If I go over here to the publication date, 1999, 15 years ago, that there isn't any research going back that far that's going to be of any use to you. I would say limit it by sliding this arrow, and probably 2010 to 2014 is a good range. And now that has cut it down to 130. Very manageable. You could easily read at least the title and the summary of 130, or a good number of those search results. So we can look at this, and I can tell you I've looked at this list. There's some really good information here. If there is something that you use for your research, just click on it. It gives you the article. It even gives you the option to listen to it if you prefer to listen to it than to read it. But here's all the information. And of course, if you were to use that in your research, you would want to do what with it, kids? That's right, cite it. How do you cite in this database? Well, it's right over here. Cite. And we use MLA here at Hadley. There's the MLA citation. You can highlight it, copy and paste. Paste it to where, you ask? Well, where is the place that you have kept all of your bibliographies, your research, and your notes in the past? That's right, EasyBib. So let's go to your drive. And if you go to the apps grid right up here, click more, click EasyBib. And it'll take you right in with your account. Now, if you didn't see EasyBib that way through your drive, just go to easybib.com and you will log in. But very important, let me log out just so you can see this. If you go that route, and some of you might have to, most of you should be able to access it through your drive. But if you do need to log in, you have to do so this way. Waiting. Okay. Log in. Use your Google account. So click this red Google button. It will ask you permission, which I've already given it permission. So you will say yes, accept. And now we're into your account. One thing that you need to do very first is go up to your name, go to settings, go to manage coupon codes. And in this box where it says redeem a code, type in the words Hadley, Hadley, bib, no caps, and no space, and click apply. You will only have to do that one time. No need to keep doing it every time you use EasyBib. Okay, now we are into EasyBib, and we are going to go to My Projects, New Projects, Internet PBL, or whatever Mr. Cooper wants it to be named. You don't need to input any other information. Create, and here you see it created for you. And at this point, you can go to your bibliography, and here are all of the different sources that you can use in your research. So for example, you had the other day a guest speaker, a retired principal from Chicago, from a Chicago school, Ms. Roberts. You could use her. You could use her presentation as part of your research. So I would go to all 59 options, and right over here I see interview, and you can input her information and use it in your research. Going back, there we go. You can cite a website, a book, newspaper, journal, and like I said, lots of other information. Database. So if we wanted to use that article back here, we could input the database. So we would say magazine article, because that was from Time Magazine. And you can fill in the information. Or, well, I'm going to back up for just a second. Let's go to the Research tab. Now, EasyBib offers another way to search for information, and the results that you get are vetted, meaning people, librarians actually who work at EasyBib, evaluate these, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's type in our same one that we were using before, internet access and low income. Search. And EasyBib sort of does some of the work for you in that it evaluates whether it's credible or not. And if I was interested in this this website about Comcast offering internet access for low-income families, I went there and it looked like good information. It's from CNN News, so we know that it's credible. If I knew that I was going to use it, I could click Cite It, and it will ask you to see the information and whether everything is filled in correctly. Mr. Cooper, you have the choice here. It's up to, according to MLA, it's up to the instructor whether the URL is displayed or not. I'm going to leave it yes, but you could have students say no if you like, and then create citation. So here is our bibliography with the one source that we have added. So now when you collected all of your sources, you could export it to a Google Doc, allow access, go to Google Docs, and there it is, formatted, ready for you to share with Mr. Cooper, or you won't have to share it, he can just access it. And if I wanted to go back to my database article, so I would just copy this and I can input it right into my Google Doc. I would not want it to be highlighted, so I would fix the formatting on that. Well, my options are limited since I have the screen enlarged, but you would turn it to normal font and you would be ready to go. Okay, so I have showed you EasyBib, how to set up your account. I have shown you the EBSCO database. I've shown you how to search in EasyBib. Let's go back to that. Research. And of course the results are vetted. And we have talked about Boolean operators. Now your searching is going to be much more focused and specific. So let's do, for a wrap up, I'm not saying that you have to use only the databases. I encourage you to use Google. I would start with the databases because that's going to give you background knowledge to do more searching. But when you do Google searches, use your Boolean operators. So now if I do internet access and low income, and the fact that it auto-populates is a good sign. That means it's been searched for before. These look like much more focused results. So, whether you're using a database, EasyBib, or Google searching, use those Boolean operators to help you narrow and focus your search. And please, students, if you have any questions, I am here to help you. Mr. Cooper, feel free to send kids to the library as you're researching. Students, you can feel free to email me. I am here to help. So, I hope this little presentation has gotten you started, and please let me know how I can help. Thanks, guys.